How you been, Mr. False?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I was just posting some comments on your typical atheist chat shows, and I've got a new name for them, Brett. You know what I call them?
What happened? What were you dealing with?
I was just saying to them, you're just sitting there mocking and yucking it up and then moralizing about how bad God believers are. I said, how about providing a defeater for the existence of God instead of whining, saying you lack belief in God? So what if you lack belief in God, right? But I have a new name for them. I call them the God hecklers.
God hecklers. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So who were you talking to? I didn't hear the first part. You said you were talking.
It's a YouTube atheist chat show called Beyond the Trailer Park. Now, they have them every single day, these atheist YouTube chat shows, and all they do is sit there and say, yuck it up about how foolish and ridiculous it is to believe in God, and then they moralize. Okay, first of all, rarely will you hear a defeater for the existence of God from these atheists. They'll always talk about their lack of belief, which does not all it simply tells us is their psychological state. And then all they do, they moralize. Well, you know what? If we're just molecules in motion, there is no ultimate lawgiver. Then why are they moralizing? I mean, these people are just incoherent. I'll just let you know now that I'm on the Hangout, the Angstrike groupies will probably snipe me out of the Hangout shortly.
Okay.
Well, I gave it out publicly a long time ago. They'd have to go through a lot of digging and searching. If that happens, then we'll just open up Discord. It's fine. This has been going for a little while. If they snipe the video, we'll still save everything that we did from the point they did it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, if you see me disappear without saying adios, you know that they're sniping.
Oh, I know. Everybody end up going bye-bye. It doesn't just do one person.
Yeah. Well, why are you an atheist?
There we go.
Myself? Okay,
yeah.
I'm speaking for myself. Okay, I do.
Okay, who's speaking right now?
My name is Ronan Kanushi.
Okay, Ronan, go ahead.
Yes. My what I accept and can prove is the fact that originally, everything really that exists is extant. It's dealing with feelings, okay? Like a plant reacts to cold winter days or nice summer evenings, okay? We are feeling creatures, okay? And over time, we became a species, human beings.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't mean to be rude. I've heard this, but I've heard this.
Okay, but I'd like to get to my point.
Yeah, you're just telling me how you evolved. Go ahead, get your point.
Yes. But the thing is, we are feeling creatures. So the first thing we did was
I know this. Listen, I don't mean to be rude.
We decided.
Ronan, listen to me.
We decided on a God.
Ronan, listen to me. Ronan, listen. I'm not trying to be rude. Okay.
Well, you're not allowing me to finish.
I know that. I'll shut up in a second. Listen, I'll shut up in a second. You're speaking to me. All right. I ask you why you're an atheist. Now,
yes.
I will shut up momentarily. But I've heard the evolutionary story about how we got here. Okay, I've heard this all before. Well, this is nothing new.
Do you understand?
Now, tell me why.
Do you understand
Ronan,
that our feelings that are
Ronan, you're not listening. You're talking past me. I'm going to ask you one question, and I will shut up.
Excuse me. I was trying to make my presentation.
Tell me why there is no God.
Oh, because whatever that is, if you want to call it a God, had no control over the outcome.
Okay, Ronan, you're an atheist. Tell me why there is no creator God.
I just told you. Whatever that is, if you call it a God, fine, had no control over the outcome.
Okay, Ronan, we're having a disconnect here.
Well,
atheism,
yes, you're trying to...
All right, I'll wait till you're done. You're very confused, but go ahead. I'll wait till you're done.
Excuse me. My thing is like earlier you all were chatting about. Well, what is it above you? There is nothing. There is only the now for me. I deal with the now.
Okay, Ronan, I understand that you have certain beliefs and strong beliefs. Okay, I'm not asking you about that. I'm asking you is. Atheism is the position that there is no God. Now, if you want to tell me that you just lack in belief, fine, you can go ahead and do that. But even that presentation necessarily entails that there is no God. Okay? So, can you please tell me, let me finish, Ronan. Explain to me how there
you
is.
interrupted me. Excuse me.
Let me
I
finish.
thought you were
I'll
going
be
to allow
done
me-
in 5 seconds, Ronan. Okay? Now, just to let you know, real quick, I've debated hundreds, if not thousands, of atheists. So simply answer the question, okay? Right. Hey, Will, if you want to be a little child, okay, then Brett's going to kick you from the room, okay? Now, Ronan, tell me how there is no God.
There is no control over the outcome.
How do you know anything that's ultimate?
I do not. I deal with the
Right.
now.
You told me you're an atheist.
Yes.
Good. Atheism entails that there is no personal absolute creator God. Tell me how you know no such entity exists.
No, atheism means I do not accept the idea of theism.
Right. Now,
I
let me
didn't
explain.
say-
Let me explain
I
something to you. Listen.
just
Yeah,
shared with
Ronan,
you.
let me explain something to you, okay? It doesn't matter if you define atheism a non-belief or a lack of belief or non-acceptance in God, okay? Now, the reason why is if you tell me that atheism is not the denial.
I think I might start
of the
drinking too, William.
All right, I'm going to turn you down. Okay, now, if you tell me...
Headshot.
Shut the fuck up. No one's gonna turn me down. I don't know what that was all about. Where is I come in here and it's a zoo. So what's
Yeah.
going on, everyone?
I have to let.
Hey, guys, come on! I just returned. Look, I understand you got your issues, but you gotta let a man speak. He's not a troll.
Oh,
Well, all
he's
he's been doing is talk over
you need to
Ronan. I mean,
you need to silence John. Okay, listen. I just muted John. He just muted me. I was talking to Rowan, and John is interrupting. Now, Ronan.
Guys, please be nice to each other. Come on.
Now, Ronan, if you tell me that you merely lack belief, but your position does not entail the non-existence of God, I have some bad news for you.
all right.
I'll be right back.
Okay, Brett, you need to remove Will and John. They are gratuitously.
Why do you guys keep unmuting for?
Just remove them.
I have
Remove
no
them.
I have
No,
no
hold
idea.
on a second. I can fix this. I can fix this right now. I'll
Headshot.
remove him right from the room right now.
No, don't do that. Come on, guys.
I'm not gonna come in here and have someone belittle me live on internet. That's disrespectful. He came.
Very disrespectful.
Dubs, you snored over him and yarned and then muted him. Come on, man.
Because he doesn't even know how to have a civilized conversation.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude. He was coming and being an asshole. He's telling he's going to remove me from the room. That's what started this whole fucking thing.
Oh, boy.
He can't.
All right, okay, let's evolution false. You can't do that. I mod people in the room and they don't like to be talked to like that. You have to try to be decent with them like you do me. My
Jesus.
goodness. All right, let's continue on the conversation.
A few moments later.
Come on, continue on.
Now, you're going to tolerate them sniping me when I was having a conversation?
I got on to him about it, Dubs, and will tell you. I told them all to get along.
Okay.
Hey, prick!
Now-
I'm
now,
actually a
Ronan.
moderator in this room.
Now, Ronan, the problem with your view is even if you say you don't assert that God does not exist, if you merely even say, I lack belief in God, it necessarily follows from that position that God does not exist. And here's why. If you claim that you can know a single fact without reference to God, okay, that any fact can be known and God does not need to be referenced as the fundamental starting point, then God cannot exist. So even the position, I lack belief in God, necessarily entails the non-existence of God. So there's no escaping atheism being the denial of the existence of God. So Ronan, do you have a defeater for the existence of God?
Mr. Duncan, you didn't even ask if he was with us. He might be out smoking or taking a poop.
Go. All right.
Well, no.
I mean,
think
that's
that-
what he does. He just talks over. He just comes in, his rambles, says stupid shit. I mean, it's boring, Brett. Don't you want to talk about something else?
Well, I tell Duncan that he's invited to my room so he can have conversations with people. So
Yeah,
Can
this
we
is-
have like a normal
Yeah,
conversation, or does it have to be just a
this is
script?
this is Brett's room. It's not yours, so it's up to Brett what the topic is. So do you have an answer
Well,
to my
Brett,
question?
I'm a
Ronan?
excuse me, I'm a moderator here. I'm
Okay,
Brett's
yeah.
friend. I run
Yeah,
the
well,
room with him. I can do what I want.
he overrode you. Okay, so do you have an answer to my question, Ronan?
Well,
All right, let me go
get-
ahead and take out the trash again, Brett. I'm not going to let his guy come in here and dog on me like this, Brett. This is unbelievable.
I'm not dogging on you.
Headshot.
All right. Well, I did say be nice to each other. I guess that's that.
But I'm not a hateful guy. I just want to have a civilized conversation. I want to talk like we're buddies. He comes in here like he's part of the mafia and he wants to break kneecaps. That's my job. I'm sorry,
Well, I do hope that evolutionary falls, he ends up fixing the behavior when he's around other folks. I get along with him. I like the motherfucker. I don't know. He just doesn't like other people.
But Brett, let's be honest. He didn't even say hello. He didn't say how are you. He didn't get to know me. He doesn't even want to he just whips it right out and come on now. You got to give me a little foreplay first,
A few moments later.
Help you. Hello, Greg. Welcome to the room.
Oh, glad to be here.
Oh, Mr. Dubs isn't in here right now, so you may not have to worry about getting kicked out. He's a moderator, been buddies with him for a long time. When he gets annoyed, What can I say?
Yeah, well, if he can just simply lay down the rules instead of just shooting from the hip, okay?
Well, what he said was he feels like you kind of just whip it out and go to town. He says he doesn't feel like you love him enough and give him any foreplay. He says just say hi every once in a while and be nice to him, and he won't give you any issue.
Okay, so as I was saying, Ronan, okay, if you merely say that you lack belief in God, that entails the denial of the existence of God, whether you realize it or not. So before it was removed from the room, I asked you, do you have a defeater for God?
What? How does that? Could you define that idea for me? I've never heard the idea of a defeater for a God.
A defeater is God does not exist because, and then you fill in the blank.
Oh, because I'm happy. I'm filling in the blank. I'm happy.
That's not a defeater.
No, that's a defeater. I don't need to subscribe to that concept for me to be happy.
You're not understanding. Okay. If you say that X does not exist, it doesn't follow from being happy or an emotional state that X does not exist.
Well, faith is an emotion, Greg. So I would have to.
You're not understanding. Okay, God is defined.
I'm explaining.
I know that. I don't think you're really understanding me.
No. I'm explaining it.
Why is it that you keep on over talking me? Okay. Now, do I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about to you?
Yes, because you don't refuse to listen to me, because I just told you that I'm happy. I'm just happy with what I do with it in the now, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I have no issues against.
Listen, it doesn't follow from that God doesn't exist.
Well, put it this way. That's from your perspective. I can accept that, but from my perspective, I don't need the idea, so I'm good.
Yeah, have you been drinking tonight? Because you're
No,
not
sir,
making
I don't drink.
You're not making coherent sense.
Your
position. Listen to me.
No,
listen to me. If I said to you, there are no aliens on planets anywhere in the universe, and you said, what is your defeater for that? And I say, because I'm happy. Would that be coherent?
No, because I do know that there are other life forms in the universe.
How do you know that? Are you familiar with the rare Earth hypothesis?
No, I'm not really, but the whole idea that it's such a expansive universe that the probability comes up, and I know there are life forms. I'm not saying they're humanoid. I'm not saying that.
You're not understanding. You have it.
Well, excuse me. There has been bacteria.
Can you tell me what
bacteria? Huh?
No,
there has been bacteria found in meteorites, for example.
No, that's false. That was debunked in the Clinton administration, sir.
Mr. Greg, I got to ask you something, Mr. Duncan. do you have the ability to snipe?
Everybody does.
Well, you didn't snipe Mr. Dubs, did you?
The guy who kicked me from the room, I kicked him. There was no reason to kick me. If he wanted to change the subject, he could have asked me not to.
Oh,
kicked me from the
man,
room.
I was telling you guys to get along with each other. What you going to
I
do?
I was perfectly behaving myself,
What?
and he gratuitously removed from the room. What goes around comes around.
Oh, jeez.
Now, Ronan. Okay.
A few moments later.
You
Okay.
have it. Do you have evidence? It's the only question I'm really wanting you to answer. Do you have the evidence?
Okay.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no, please.
I'm not at this moment. Okay. We haven't completed the subject.
No. I want you to just
okay,
shut me
sir,
down.
listen to me.
I want you
Listen,
to just
I
shut
am
me down by
attempting
giving me
to
the
respond to you.
evidence.
You're being obnoxious. Now, I'd like to speak without you over talking me. Now, it is not immediately germane to your answer for me to tell you about my worldview. I will be glad to share with you my worldview shortly, but please do not overtalk me. Now,
I hate to interject.
when you say there's no evidence for God, there's a
Video's
problem
not
with that
working.
statement. Okay.
The YouTube
Excuse
feed
me,
is
I
not
asked you a
working.
question.
Not working?
Okay. Now,
No.
Ronan. If
I
you
asked
say
you a
there's no
question,
evidence
please.
for God,
No,
okay.
I asked you a question. Do you have evidence? That was a question, please.
Okay.
It's a yes or no answer, please. That's all
I
I'm asking.
I didn't make any assertions to you.
No, I'm asking you if you know there's a God or
I didn't make any assertions to you. Now,
it's a
I will be glad. Okay, are you listening to me? I mean, do you have self-control problems, or are we going to have a conversation like an adult? Now, I'll tell you one more time. You're over talking me, dude.
You asked a question,
do you
Greg.
have mental
Excuse
problems?
me, you asked a question,
No,
please.
listen, dude. Listen.
I'm sorry, I had to mute him for a minute. The video is lagging so sufficiently that nobody can understand what the hell is being said at all.
Okay. Now, I'll be glad to tell you what my worldview is. Okay, Ronan, shortly. But we haven't finished the topic of your atheism yet. What I believe at this particular moment is not relevant to the issue, is your atheism, can it be supported? Now, you said there is no God because there's no evidence for God, right? That's your position? Are we clear on that?
We don't have the answer, so go ahead. I figure it's just a rhetorical statement
now,
on your part. You're not really allowing.
There's a problem. There's a problem with that statement.
And reciprocity.
So are we clear that your position is God does not exist because there's no evidence for God? Is that your position?
No, I had a question. Do you have evidence? I was not asking about.
Okay,
sir,
we're not done.
Please, I was not finished with
then I'm going to have to end the conversation because obviously you do not. Okay, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean.
Yes, you are. You're not allowing me.
You're over talking me again. You keep on over talking me now.
Headshot.
All right, I'm done with that. Folks, I'm going to be opening up a stream over on Discord. The Google Hangout, for some reason, is lagging, and besides, I'm getting tired of it. He admitted that he scripted John earlier, and that's no good. We can't have that. I'm going to stop that shit.